Exactly on time. Recording, sir. Yes, madam, I'm starting. Have you sent a message to Sashidhar? Why Sashidhar is not to be seen today?
He
No.
said yes, he'll be coming.
He said he'll be coming.
Yes.
Okay.
He replied on the group.
Okay. Right. So, any wow for the last 15 days? Let's start with that. I know we are all in a very tough situation. Okay. And we may be in for some more tough situation going forward. I think a lot of people, we have let ourselves down. That's what I would say. And we seem to be having too many cases closer, too much of losses of lives information
Yeah.
coming through from all sources. So I think we should all keep the people who have been infected with COVID in our prayers. I think this wave is worse than the first one
Yes. Very
in
worse.
comparison to what happened in the wave one.
Even Padma ma'am
Yes,
has.
sir. I think in my circle, first wave, I saw everything on news, like someone. Now I am seeing people around, like
It is like
relatives, friends.
the three yugas, no? The first yuga, the enemy came from the other world. The second yuga, the enemy came from the other country. The third yuga, the enemy came from the same family.
Yes.
I heard for the first time someone told me today skin rashes because of COVID.
Okay.
They
No,
get skin rashes like mosquito bites.
I'm not a doctor, but I can think of only one thing is that I'm hearing is that whichever part of your body is vulnerable,
Hmm.
going to get affected
Okay.
because it's an infection. And there is a most vulnerable part. There are people who have skin disorders. There are people who have kidney problems. That gets acute.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if people are dying out of COVID or COVID-induced infection causing malfunction of their existing disorders. That is what comorbid is all about, and that's causing concern.
Hmm.
Okay,
Got it.
let's pray. Okay, let's come to some good things. Let's hear some good things, inspiring things, or whatever it is.
So yesterday I was invited by one YouTube channel to speak impromptu on 3 minutes for a topic on in Hindi itself, not even English. So I spoke on why you do what you do, 3 minutes in Hindi. It went to 5 minutes. He's going to edit and make it 3 minutes, but he liked it. He said the topic is too good and just impromptu. He said, why don't you do it? So he's got more than 1,000 followers on YouTube. So maybe that may be better. Just a visibility purpose. It happened yesterday.
Super.
And he said, you are perfect as a speaker.
Okay.
So the video is going to come out tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Oh, share with us, no?
Yes.
Share with us. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes. Next.
Yeah. So past week I completed one pathway in Toastmaster. So in Toastmaster journey, we need to select one pathways like what you want to improve on, and there will be levels. So within this 4 months, I completed the first level, and even I got the best speaker in that competition. So that is one good thing in this week. And one more good thing is, at least in our family or very nearby people, everyone is safe and happy. So staying safe. Thank you.
Very good. More energy required, Arish.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Good evening, everybody. The last 15 days has been quite eventful and quite challenging, I would say. The products, whatever we were manufacturing through the recycling process, we wanted to ensure that we find suitable solutions for its final application, and we were able to crack that, and we were able to tie up with manufacturers of vegetable crates So now vegetable crates typically is manufactured in and around Bangalore in places called Kolar and Hoskote. We were able to go there and do a trial and successfully use our scrap material to make crates, and it has come out successfully. And we have got some confirmed orders for supply of our reprocessed material. So this was an achievement which has given us confidence that yes, the direction whatever we have taken is right, and the efforts whatever we have put in for the last 6 months at least has started paying dividends.
So you have one target market ready now.
Yes.
Vegetable crate market,
Yes.
one place, correct? So allied, we have to see now what are all the other products like this which can go mass
Correct. Correct.
and get the pricing right, and
Yes.
trying to list in India Mark, those kind of places.
Yeah, we can. And in fact, my furniture also has found some acclaim. So I have received some orders for teapoys, glass top teapoys,
Okay.
made out of recycled scrap.
Are you looking for any specific clients kind of stuff? You can ask if any one of us can help you find some.
At this point of time, my current endeavor is to ensure that my productivity is streamlined, and I need to get that. So the problem is now I'm facing a little bit of challenge in my productivity, my machine output capacity. So it'll take me about a month or two till I streamline all this process. Once I'm done, then I'm ready to take on for more
Volumes.
more volumes.
Yes, who wants to go next?
But definitely I'll do one thing, sir. I will share whatever is the pictures and photographs of the products, whatever we made in the group, just to give an idea as to what are the possibilities which we can do from scrap.
Correct. You're speaking from Hyderabad, Mr. Raghuram?
Yes, I came to Hyderabad yesterday,
Oh, okay.
trying to getting back to Bangalore on Monday.
Oh, okay. चोपड़ा जी क्या हो रहा है दिल्ली पे? फर्स्ट अच्छा बोलो, फिर दिल्ली का बात बोलो.
As per COVID तो बहुत बुरा हो रहा है. People are actually dying because they are not having any bed access or oxygen access. But all other things are good. We are at home trying to keep ourselves safe. So
Any significant development in the last 15 days?
yeah, I entered a new phase.
Okay.
Going to be a mom.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
that's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Glad.
So things are overwhelming and ups and downs are going, but I'm enjoying it.
Take care of yourself. This is the best time to get pampered. Okay. Tell Mr. Chopra it's his job to pamper you.
Mr. Bajaj.
Mr. Bajaj. Okay. Mr. Bajaj
Yeah.
pamper you a lot.
Can get what you want now.
At any time.
Yeah. Welcome, Shruti. So,
Good evening, everyone.
good evening,
Good
Shruti.
Good evening.
कैसा है ईश्वर का बेटी?
Sharka Beti is fine now.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome, Saurabh. Yeah, Meenal.
Congrats.
Then Meenal, Rajnandini, Shruti, and Saurabh Botra, and then I would share. Meenal Sharma,
Yes, sir.
anything you would
Good
like
evening,
to
everyone.
share in the last 15 days?
Yes, sir. So the good thing that happened was arranging oxygen and bed for my uncle, as I told, because he was not in a really good condition and he had access to only 1-2 hours of oxygen. And everybody said that there is no bed available anywhere. So somehow after 4-5 hours, it was arranged and we were all relieved. So that was one thing. And the other thing, I tried something experiment with my reels and I gave my voice to it, gradually learning, gradually getting better, practicing, and I hope I'll get better with the next one.
Super. Good. Yes, Rajnandini, Shruti,
Yes, sir.
you
I
want?
am getting, yeah, I am getting better as a teacher now, and so planning to create my YouTube channel within few more days. So yeah, I'm doing some homework for that, that how to do it, and so many other things are going on.
Hmm.
And moreover, I'm very grateful now that like COVID is around and we are all safe and in good health. This is the best thing happening with me now.
Good. Very good. Very good.
Great. All the best. Shruti.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let me share, because before I go to Saurabh and Rajnandini, uh, first thing first is so one of my we had a training program scheduled for young grads who had got out of IIM, XLRI. So kind of when I say IIM Ranchi kind of stuff. Okay, not the ABC, but less than that. So these are the bunch of around 15 people, and I had to work with them last Thursday and Friday, and that was amazing, really amazing. You know, to work with young sales guys who will be hitting the market and giving them the tips and the kind of learning they had was superb. You know, it was amazing. And before that, what happened is there is a good friend of mine from Kenya whom I used to visit in Kenya. His company's name is Multi Vista Private Limited. It's a big group. It's a Tamil group in Chennai, and they've been asking me for a long time. And they said suddenly they said Thursday we want a training from you. Okay, so Thursday I had they wanted a 4 hours training, and this company already had a 9 hours training. So Thursday I ended up doing a 13 hours of online training.
Wow.
Offline I have done 13 hours of online was what a bit of a stretch. But the beauty was it was done. The next day again I had a regular 9 hours training. Saturday also I had a 9 hours training. So that was something which was my body could hold, my mind could hold. The only thing was I would have been more comfortable standing and taking the session than sitting and taking the session. That's one. Then I don't know how you would feel or what you would say when you have a client who has been with you since 1998, which is 23 years. The people whom I had trained at that point of time are all in the very crucial positions. They head the factories. At that point of time, they were just supervisors or officers, young guys. So when they reach out to you, I did a program for them in 2019 also. But last I did was in a probably a concrete kind of program I was doing only around 2014, if I'm right, 13, 14. So these guys reached out and said, Asian Paints is a client, said, we have a crisis as far as our middle level management is concerned. So we need a lot of training interventions from your end. So when you have 23 years old client coming back again and again and again, so that gives you a lot of pride. And it so happened that one of the guys who has come out of TAS, Tata Administrative Service, he's a new guy, young guy. So these guys have told him that he's the HR manager now. He was told that Sreeram is somebody whom I've been associated with. We have got trained at him in 2002, 2004, 2006. So this guy was also there last Sunday. We did a Zoom session. Next week we are having a offline training 2 days, followed by one more day. So he attended, and immediately next day, I'm somewhere in a village in a village near Arakonam. Because why did I go there? Exit poll. I'll come to that also. So I get a message from HR head of ITC saying that my classmate in TAS is Shyam, who's now heading Asian Paints, and I got a referral from him, and we need your training at ITC Bhadrachalam boats. So one was the endurance. Number two was getting associated with a client even after 21 years. And then that guy giving you a referral and getting into a ITC is something which we have been trying to crack for a long time, but we have not been able to. And now it's cracked. And then again, I didn't want, none of my family members also wanted me to go on a last final phase of exit poll, but I'd given a commitment to Pradeep that I would do it. Pradeep Bandari, who used to come in Republic TV before. So I hesitated, but on Monday he said, Paya, if you can do it, please, we'll be leaving something incomplete. And we had also mentioned in Twitter, because right now, in the last few months, Arish must have seen the Twitter following has gone, huge for me. So I'd given a commitment that we'll be coming out with phase 2. So I did go for 3 days, and that was also a very nice experience, going back in the sun and coming out with all the data. Yesterday in the evening only I landed up. So these are some of the things, good things happened. I've taken the first shot. Second shot is tomorrow afternoon, 2:30, vaccine. When you go out, you get exposed. You may wear mask, you may wear visor, you may have PPE and all those stuff, but that's somewhere exposure. So I'm only praying to God that the next 3-4 days I should be absolutely safe and not going out anywhere before the training, which starts on Tuesday. So these are the good things which I have to share. Thank you very much. So we have Saurabh Botra. Any questions you want to ask on 13 hours training, you can ask me. No problem.
No questions, sir. Only it's amazing because online speaking is even tougher. Because I told, right, I was teaching for 3 hours in physical, but online 1.5 hours I'm exhausted. Just to come in front, speak, the response won't come properly. We cannot feel the expressions. Yeah, it's amazing.
Saurabh Botra, welcome back. After a long time, I don't know the audio you can see or not. Sashidhar.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Saurabh, anything you want to share in the last 15 days or 1 month, 1.5 months?
Hi, everyone. I will share what is the wonderful things with me. Today, first time day out for my son Johan. So we came out for in a desert. We found something waterfalls. That's where I am. Okay, I will show you where I am. So here I am. You see the black waterfalls behind me. Then I got my first dose of vaccine. And please excuse me, I'm out with the family for the first time after the family. So I'll be missing this session. And thanks Deepika and Meenal for reminding me to join the meeting. And I will be missing the meeting for sure. Second time in the meeting.
You're recording. Enjoy and be safe. You're wearing a good mask. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Rajnandini, can we hear you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. It's a long time.
Yes, a very long time. I was stuck between COVID only. Again, my father got COVID. There was marriage of my real brother, which got postponed due to this COVID situation and all. So I again traveled to Kolkata just last few days back. About some awesome things which happened with me. I think I'm growing mentally more stronger than what I was. I'm daily giving few minutes of my day to learn something new, and I'm making it a point to write what I learned new today. And it is giving me so much of happiness, I can say. Career wise, I'm invited as a speaker for women's faculty of ICAI, not at any individual branch, but at India level only. Then again, for Kolkata branch also, I'm invited as a speaker to speak on investment awareness program. I've already done 4 investment awareness program. And maybe in the first week of May, I will be having a non-academic session related to this motivational speaking and all. So many positive things, many positive vibes going on. And I'm really enjoying how I look at life now. And I'm living every moment with so much of happiness. And so I'm back today to share what I've felt. I was few days back or few months, I was stuck somewhere. I was living, but I was not happy. But today I can say I'm living and I'm very happy.
Superb. Great to hear, Rajnandini. Superb. Yes, Mr. Saurabh Botra. Mr. Botra.
Hi. I already shared with you today afternoon, but I'll share with the group now that I applied for Cornell, but I was rejected. I got like denial letter last evening. So I think most likely it's going to be good because
Anyway, I was late in applying. I applied in the last deadline, so I was not expecting admission this cycle. Next cycle, I'll be applying to all M7 schools. Plus, I'll be most likely to target Columbia. So maybe I think that's a good thing which will be come out of this denial of admission. On work front, I think I'm progressing superbly. I've been given a lot of, like, my equity stake in the company, like sweat equity, has been valued quite a lot, which I was not expecting anytime when I joined the company. So on work front, I've been promoted and getting good return out of it. And I think this is the two things major which happened in the past few months. Good. One major thing is tomorrow I'll be awarded CFA charter. So tomorrow evening, and unfortunately, it's the first virtual event of the awarding of charter ceremony. Otherwise, I would have been traveling to Mumbai to receive the charter. But tomorrow is I'll be receiving CFA charter from the institute. Yeah.
Wonderful. Nice to know, Saurabh. It's okay. The point is that, one is to look at God's delays or not God's denials. Probably all that happens for the good. And now I know you have more choice and more options, because I think you applied at the last minute, and also you are not prepared. It came through, you suddenly realized that the organization was willing to sponsor, and then you jumped into it. And now you have enough time to analyze, prepare, think through, and then take it up. And Sweat Equity is a great news. Promotion is another great news. So great to know that members of our community, Awesomeness community, are growing big. Great. So today, what is that you're going to speak, or what is it we want to jump into? I was thinking yesterday night, many of the people say that that's a one turning point which happened, and from there everything in my life changed. Somebody calls it an ever since moment. From that moment onwards, everything about life changed. Is it really true? I'm asking you guys, is it really true? It is only one moment has made you what you are. Yes, that one moment must have played a very important role in shaping you to become what you are. But I really believe that we are a product of whether we like it or not. Many of us may not even like to use this word. The new millennial crowd, or whatever name you call them as, may not want to even accept this, and they don't want to. And that is becoming a bigger problem. But because they do not want to, they are getting into it in an unconscious manner and going in a different direction. We are all product of being influenced by some people, some theory, some ideology, some philosophy, at not some stages, at various stages of our life. If any one of us say that I have not been, that influence could have been dad, that influence could have been mom, that influence could have been brother, that influence could have been teacher, that influence could have been your first boss, that influence could have been your spouse, that influence could have been on a negative side, that influence could have been an ideology, could have been a principle, could have been a value. But what influenced you? Who influenced you? What shapes your thoughts today? See, because attraction happens and repulsion happens. Where there is attraction, there has to also be a repulsion. When you are attracted towards one thing, you are repelled from something else. I'm not prepared. Okay, it's not even thought. But the truth of the life is, if you are attracted towards certain principles in life, which means you automatically are repelled from certain other principles in life. A principle could be as simple as that: I am against bribery, I will not give bribery, I will not take bribery. Somebody influenced the thought into you. Don't tell me that you were born with that particular thought. Because let us all understand that there is a knower and there is a doer. There is a knower and there is a doer. For years together, it had been told or assumed that everybody is born with a knower. No, we are not born with a knower. There is a knower, there is a doer, there is a watcher. What is it, Sreeram? I'm bringing a little bit of spirituality also today. I'll bring a little bit of spirituality, I'll bring a little bit of philosophy, I'll bring a little bit of politics, I'll bring a little bit of religion. You will have a mix of everything today. And then I want to set up and then I want you to speak. Because I don't know what influenced you. Doer is your body. We do. We do certain things and we don't do certain things because of the knower. The knower is your mind and intellect and emotion. Most of you in the awesomeness session, become a speaker session, you must have already seen the physical personality, mental personality, intellectual personality, emotional personality, spiritual personality. While the doer is the body, is the person whom you identify yourself with in the name and form. The knower is your mind, intellect, and emotion. And there is a witness. Vedanta tells that the Brahman and Atman both are one and the same. Atman is Brahman, Brahman is Atman. And that fellow is only a witness. He's only a witness. That is why he's not corrupted. A witness is somebody who is witnessing the entire thing which is flowing around. This is one philosophy, one theory. So, coming to the first point, the knower is not always noble. Why the knower is not noble? The knower is a conditioned product. If you have listened to my podcast, I think there was a final podcast of mine in the first series, and second series is starting on May 3rd. Mind what goes into your mind. Did you happen to see that? Or listen to it? Mind what goes into your mind. And I would mention there, garbage in, garbage out, good thoughts in, good actions out. So the thoughts which have been fed into you comes out as actions. And the thoughts which have been fed into you have not been fed consciously. It was not that consciously you got those thoughts, even without your knowledge. That's why in that podcast, I think I've mentioned about on an average 1,48,000 times, a child before he attains the age of 18 is told, you can't, you will not, you shall not, never. So this child starts to believe that it can't. It was not born with an I can't attitude or an I can attitude. That is why when a child was born, nobody would have predicted that one day the child would become a Mahatma Gandhi. When a child was born, nobody would have predicted that one day the child would become a J.R.D. Tata. When a child was born, nobody would have predicted that one day the child would become a Narendra Modi, or a Rahul Gandhi, or a Jawaharlal Nehru, or a Sachin Tendulkar, or a Virat Kohli, or an MS Dhoni, or a Osama bin Laden. Another child with a new voice, new face, new tone, new shape. And look at the beauty of the creator. He has got so many shapes, infinite shapes he has got. And he doesn't repeat. So when a child was born, the child was another child. Several things have influenced the child to become the person the child became. Either positive or negative. When Hitler was born, nobody knew that Hitler would be the cause for the World War III. His parents would have just celebrated the birth of one more child. When Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born, nobody would have predicted that the child will become a father of the nation. have been influenced. If a Bhagavad Gita had influenced Mahatma Gandhi, that is what at least he says. What influenced you? Who influenced you? Who were your influencers? Who were your thought leaders? Because at some stage, if you want to become a speaker, a trainer, a training consultant, which is what Meenal Sharma would always say, at some stage you have to elevate yourself into a thought leader. Who's a thought leader? A thought leader is able to shape the thoughts of people to think in a particular direction. And by thinking in that particular direction, execute in that particular direction happens. So who are your influences? Who influenced your thought process? Who shaped your thought process? There is a parenting and there is also reparenting. What is parenting and what is reparenting? Parenting is growing up, where the parenting automatically, reparenting is, in fact, a Siddhartha wanting to become a Gautama Buddha was a moment of reparenting. Am I talking too much or too philosophical today? So seeing what is happening around him, questions keep coming up, and for that question there is nobody able to answer him and influence him, as a result of which he goes in search of, okay, let me go and find out. But he was influenced by the events that happened around him. Because Siddhartha never knew that man went die. He was in a protected enclosure. Those of you who have ever read Gautama Buddha's story, he was never exposed. He never thought there could be poverty in this world. But one day when he was out on the road, he had all these things, he saw all these things, and he didn't have an answer for any of them from anybody. So he was not getting influenced by anybody. He decided that it is time for me to reparent myself. So question to ask is, who influenced you? And what was the impact of their influence? And who could influence you in future? But Sreeram, can society influence? 100% it influences. Sachin Tendulkar, being born with the talent of Sachin Tendulkar, but if he was born in France, do you think he would have become a cricket player? If he had born in a sportsman, he would have become. Okay. But Sreeram, destiny played a role. Destiny also, but I can't, I don't have any control over the destiny. So I have to do what I'm doing. Just a 4:30 to 7:45, I was taking a session. I told them, okay, because I was doing referral marketing, I told them, you keep going behind somebody asking for referrals. You keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking. Nothing comes from them, but from some other direction it comes. The law of life is efforts will be rewarded. But reward will not come in the way you are expecting it to come. That is the moral of the story. So as a result of which, destiny I cannot alter. So in the name of destiny, I can't keep quiet. I have to keep putting my efforts. So why did I say this? I said this because I was talking about Sachin Tendulkar, because I don't want to jump thoughts. You'll be jumping thoughts. Where did I go? So it was destiny which made Sachin Tendulkar to be born in that family. But I can't control that. So what is the point? He had put in the effort. So deeply, And another thing to look forward also. What kind of an influencer you want to be? I've already mentioned in one of my quote a few weeks back, I mentioned influencing is the ability to make others to believe in what you believe in. Influencing is to make others believe in what you believe in. Probably Mr. Raghuram Natarajan, Mr. Natarajan shaped his thoughts, influenced him up to a stage. From there, somebody else influenced. Because for a myth, you became a chartered accountant because somebody influenced you to be a chartered accountant. I became a sales guy because, unfortunately, Subbu is not there. I'm not chasing him also these days. I saw Subbu get out of IIT. I knew that I will never get into IIT. So no comparison. I said, I will not even write IIT exam. He was too intelligent, and you can keep on comparing with him, you can't do anything. But then I saw him, get into sales career. He was traveling in car, flights, coming from a poor family, extremely poor family where we're not. Suddenly he writes a letters to us saying that, I've traveled by flight. Huh? Okay. Suddenly one day he takes us to a 5-star hotel and says, this is where you're going to stay tonight. So I thought sales career means it will be great as a young boy. So I thought, okay, what is he? He's a sales engineer. But he's not a sales engineer. He was an expert in building air conditioner settle plant. So from an young age, I thought, okay, I should be into sales. Because I thought all salesmen means you travel by flight, you stay in 5-star hotel, you live in comfort. This is what I thought. And another thing which kept on coming is people kept saying that Subbu is not a great communicator, but still is a good salesman, which means if you're a great communicator, you'll become a better salesman. So let me become a great communicator also. So if I look at my life, in fact, I don't know, we all, I keep telling, in Center of Excellence, many times I've told, we all do, you guys, chartered accountants do risk audit, tax audit, stock audit. But have you ever done life audit? Have you ever done your self audit? Have you ever looked back at your life and say, yeah, I am here because of this? Because wherever you are today, it is a result and effect of all the things which happened to you till now. And wherever you are going to be, it is going to be a result and effect of what you're going to do from now onwards. So if I have to start a fresh page, I can start today. And I've seen that happen. When I completed my engineering, I didn't finish my course, but I completed my engineering. I told, today I will start a fresh page. Whatever I was till now, it is a different story altogether. Because after that, what I decided was the people with whom I interacted were not the people with whom I interacted again. I chose a different company. Because that's the beauty of a mankind, that awareness is something which we have. Because of that awareness, what happens? Because this is not told by Stephen Covey. I'm sorry, I was thinking that you guys are going to speak. I don't know that you guys are going to speak or I'm only going to speak. It is actually from Vedanta Treatise. It is not from Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey has actually copy-pasted this. Xerox copy he took. Certain things you have to give the credit where it is due. This is basically your knower. Your knower is mind, intellect, my spelling may be wrong, emotions. And what does this have? What does this have? It has 4 components. 1, self-awareness. Imagination. Where is this fellow? There. I'll give you, I think I should pick up both. What are these four things? The four things are: one is self-awareness. The second one is conscience. The third one is imagination. And the fourth one is independent will. Self-awareness is you can become aware of your own actions. You can perform an action and then introspect and say, I should not have done this. Or you, before you perform an action, you can become aware of it and stop that action, which cannot be done by any other animal. What do you mean by that? You are getting angry, and you are going to shout. You can become aware that what you did or what you're going to do is not good, and you can stop that. Conscience is your, what do you call it as? The Tamil, we call it as Manasakshi. What do you tell Raghuram sir in Hindi? Conscience? So you say conscience keeper. That part of you which are your value system. In Hindi, Mr. Raghuram? Don't know?
Conscience is
Sun.
I mean,
it's not will.
Then dil ki baat actually, to just to fine tune that.
Okay.
It is what you said, boundaries, that we don't have to cross this boundary, whatever happens.
The
Not
value systems, you can call value system.
Yeah.
Or that which will always speak, it will
Oh.
speak. In fact, Swami Chinmayananda beautifully says, if your action doesn't match the conscience, then it is a sin.
Yes.
Antaratma. Okay, fine.
Antaratma, yeah.
The third is imagination. Imagination is, I can imagine myself. That's what happened with me. Why am I saying it? I imagined that if I am going to script a new chapter in my life, from tomorrow onwards, I will be like this, a successful salesperson. For that, I can choose my company. I can choose whom I should relate to. I should choose what goes into my mind. That is what is imagination. Where I see the future, I'm able to go into the future and see, and then come to a decision. That is imagination. Finally, the independent will. Independent will is human beings alone can bypass the awareness, can say bullshit to conscience, and can decide to execute the will in the name of willpower and do anything. There are dialogues in Tamil movies. If I decide, even if I tell, I will not go back from my decision. Okay. Which means what is it? I've decided I should do this, but my conscience is saying, no, don't do that. Or others are saying, no. Independent will. In fact, this was the highest with Adolf Hitler. Independent will. Independent. That is where I say the willpower we talk about. Somebody to give up an habit, smoking, drinking tea, drinking coffee, okay, sleeping in the afternoon. abnormal any habits, all this independent will. Now, all this, एक बार जाओ मैंने कमिटमेंट कर दी, फिर तो मैं आपने आपकी भी नहीं सुनता. Okay. Okay. So this is what it is. Now you, because I don't think it is going to become impromptu. Now we're going to have it as a next session, next community meeting speech only. Who shaped your mind, intellect, and emotions? Who all shaped? And let me tell you, certain shaping up of certain thoughts can happen at a very young age, and at a very young age, a very fertile ground. In fact, certain people, this conscience has got developed at a very, very young age. And in fact, I will tell you, that is why there is a saying that what you got in the cradle will come with you till the grave. Because certain things which you picked up in the formative years, it is extremely difficult to change. Because it has become a part of a conscience, and it becomes very rigid. Very rigid. That is why many people say parenting has a huge impact, basically because of why parenting happens at that age. And that has gone in. My father has told me, ma, that I should not lie, and I will not lie. My mom has told, never take a bribe. I will never take a bribe. No, it is because of what? Because what goes to you inside at the age of 20, 25 can be reprogramming is easy. Here reprogramming to bahut mushkil hai. So can we take a pause and look at this? But Sreeram, what will be the advantage of it? What is the advantage of it is now to know your journey, number one. Number two, what is going to be your journey from now onwards? I'm already 57 years old. Already I'm 42 years old. I'm already 29 years old. You have a longer role to play. Do you want to rescript anything in your conscience? And what kind of an influencer you and me can be? Can we influence? All this we can shape up in the coming session. But this is something where I have to actually, I'm just give me a minute because I have to look at it. Because many of you might be thinking that it is from Stephen Covey, but unfortunately, this is not from Stephen Covey. I will show you both so that we will know what is the Indian. I have not read this book for a long time. Where is this also? I don't know. Just give me a minute. Saurabh, did you buy this book, Vedanta Treatise?
Yeah,
Read it, not it.
I've read till midway.
A little heavy to read, no?
Yeah, it takes a while to absorb it actually.
Yeah. Unable to get
Unlike
page.
fiction, you can read for like 15, 16 hours and complete the book. This will take a lot of time.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
This is what Vedanta?
Treatise.
Right.
If you have mastered this book, then you have mastered life.
Author of the book, sir?
A. Parsabdi.
It's a part, sir.
So, and then now what is the big question to ask is because in Stephen Covey, I can find it out easily because in Stephen Covey, it should be there. Yeah. So you can see that this is what it is. In Stephen Covey book, this is how it will be, but it is there in the freedom to choose self-awareness, imagination, conscience, and independent will. So who shaped this for you? And do you want to reshape this? And what has been the impact of this? So who and what influenced your thought process? And there is another thing also which we need to look at. Sometimes in our childhood days, we get easily as much as attraction as was important, repulsion was also more important. So I'm stopping the share. Somebody had typed in the chat box. No problem. Go ahead, have your food. No issues. I just had a chapati between my session and this. Okay. So next session, I think we should go a little further and look at who and what influenced me. And who and what I would like to influence the world. Because I think all of us must be a thought leaders. Must be amazing thought leaders.
So JVC, being a great listener can be also the topic.
I didn't get you.
Being a great listener can be also a topic to talk about it.
Yeah, we can. Not next time. Future definitely is.
I'm just checking that.
How to be a good listener. Today you all probably came thinking that you're going to speak, and suddenly, sorry, I took it in a different direction and it went somewhere, and finally it went here. Any thoughts on how this topic will be next week? Next week?
In fact, it will be very interesting, actually. I have almost made my story as you've been speaking. The changing points in our life, how we got transformed. And definitely there are people who have transformed us. And today, whatever we are thankful and obliged to what they have done for us in our life. Obviously in the positive way. But there are, of course, negative people as well.
Yeah, 100%. Every ideology, Raghuram, Mr. Raghuram. In fact, it will be a nice idea that those of them who were influenced, if you can send a message, a WhatsApp message, or a personally written card to them saying that this is what you had done, this is what it is, and sending it to him, that would mean a lot to them. And you know what? I'm going to speak about you, how you shape my mind, if they are alive. If they are not, probably in our thoughts, if we can think about them, that would also be great. Because at the end of the day, there are thought waves. In fact, I will be speaking about it in one of the coming sessions. In future sessions, I'll be speaking about thought waves, because we have just come to it. Thought waves are an amazing topic, but unfortunately, none of us can understand. And when I say none of us, including me, can understand, it is in the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. The language he speaks, even Shakespeare will not understand. I can tell you. Okay. The vocabulary. He speaks about thought waves. He speaks about the whole, I'm a radio, and the whole world is kind of a part of a radio station. So when my antenna and the radio station keeps emitting all the waves, and I'll keep it another day, it will become too much. So we're coming to it. We're coming to various other topics. Remind me, Vinal, on this particular topic as we go along. Yeah. Okay. So anybody else, feeling excited about this topic?
Yes, sir.
I already have script in my mind.
Okay, you already have script in your mind. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so let's now come to the wow, if at all you have any wow for the evening.
My wow moment for the day is that with this topic, I'm getting an opportunity to go back in my life and do an introspection and look at the changing points and the people who influence the changing points.
So my wow moment is what you said, mind what goes in your mind. Garbage in, garbage out, positive in, positive out. So it was actually a big challenge. Some of the members were saying, "What next? It's 1 year done." So I need to let them in. I mean, give them example. If you're in a group of positive people, you'll always be positive in your business, and that's the reason you need to continue. So that mind, what goes in your mind, is very crucial statement which I got today from you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes. Can I hear somebody else?
Is it your statement or someone else's statement?
It's my statement. Mind what goes into your mind is my statement. Not borrowed from anywhere.
I'll give credit to you. That's the reason I was asking.
Pardon?
I'll give credit to you. That's the reason I was asking.
Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, certain things I might have read somewhere. I don't even know the source, but this is mind. What goes into your mind was mine. Autobiography, biography. God never gives. If you give life to your inner voice, give more than what you get. So a lot of things are those are mine. And I'd actually copyright if I was Ivan Meissner or Mac Macedonia, I would have copyrighted all this. Ivan Meissner itself, he has trademarked it. You see. बेटी दीपिका आज समझ गया सेशन
हाँ जी sir. Actually, I was having the same wow moment. That's why I'm not repeating. Mind what gets into your mind was something that also influenced me. I was also thinking about the same. What all Bharat sir said.
Okay. Yes, Rajnandini, can we hear you? Or Shruti or Meenal?
From past few days, I was writing something that is the way you told in personality development, physical, emotional, all those things, intellectual, mental. I wrote 9 to 10 pages describing my things and what all stages I went through because I wanted to understand more of myself. So I was somewhere coming to it, to this introspection, and this was much needed. And now I am going to do it actively. So that's a wow thing.
Super. Yes, Nandini, Shruti, you have?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, I'm going through some changes, and I want to give myself a better shape. So these changes are much needed, which you have just told. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much. And of course, I need to go back and introspect myself in retrospect, and of course, to make changes for the better future. Yeah, the wow moment was just like I don't want to repeat, but yes, it was my one. Mind what gets into your mind.
Okay. Rajnandini, can we hear you? Or difficult? Okay. So we come to the end. It is 8:59. Stay safe. Bharat, take care. Because I think you are in the eye of the storm, actually, I should say. So take care. Raghuram sir, travel safe. I have been also doing the same thing. Okay. So I am stopping my travel. So stay safe. People in Delhi, please be. Mumbai is first means. In fact, Delhi is worse than Mumbai, actually, if you look at it. Maharashtra as a total is, but Delhi has been in a worse condition. So take care of yourself. Stay safe. Let's pray. A lot of people whom we know very well have got affected. So let's pray for all of them to get better and let the world come out of this crisis or panic as quickly as possible. ASAP.
Is there a downward trend expected in the next 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I'm expecting a downward trend. In fact, this is going to be peak. In fact, that's why a quick lockdown may not be a bad idea. A 7-day complete lockdown maybe not be a bad idea. Because anyway, a lot of people at various other places, businesses is getting impacted. I think Mumbai is almost in a lockdown, if I'm right. Okay.
Yes.
So a 7-day lockdown, bring it down.
Delhi is also having lockdown.
Pardon?
Delhi is also having lockdown, complete
Yeah.
lockdown 2 months.
So that's what I'm saying, Deepika. Instead of having, instead of every state saying that, okay, fine, we will adopt this model, we will adopt that model. So Modi comes out and says, May 2nd election ho raha. Election was over. That's why I said May 5th. In fact, I don't know whether you saw that message or not. Bharat, I told May 5th because elections are over, results are over, governments are formed or not formed, comes out and says 1 week, 7 days, let's go on a complete lockdown. Complete lockdown, the way it was in March after Janata curfew. And that will actually bring the cases dramatically down. That will make the lot of infrastructure better. By that time, this oxygen express, this flying over oxygen, and all those things can be ramped up. And the vaccination process alone, if they want to continue, they can continue, or even that can be put altered. I don't know how they will handle that. That is one big problem they have, because vaccination also has to happen in lockdown situation. How do they do the vaccination? That is another question. But there is also another question is that, sorry, I'm taking a little bit of time, is that vaccination centers may itself become hotspots for COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it is, I don't think it is not a right time to be an administrator at this point of time.
Yes. And I think a stage has come where even the medical personnel are in a stage of breakdown, because they have gone through stress for last 1 year, and I think it is beyond comprehension.
I have lost somebody in Kenya, Dr. Gopinath. Out of phone call, whatever we want, we could get it done. And as a medical guy, as a general physician, he was such a support. And I cried. I met him only 3 or 4 times. But the point is, so many times I've spoken to him over the phone. Doctor, I've gone here. Sugar tablet is not there. I'm extending my travel. What do I do? He will suddenly, go there, get this, get this. Such an asset. And we are losing a lot of doctors. And kiddos, Shruti, Deepika, Meenal, get yourself vaccinated. Register, get yourself vaccinated, and preferably choose a slot, probably early morning or sometime in the middle of the afternoon. See the pattern and get yourself vaccinated. Very important. Very, very important. And if you can get Covaxin, get Covaxin.
It's available here.
Huh?
My parents got that only.
They've taken, is it?
Go back. My parents got it. Go vaccine.
If it is possible, take Covaxin. Both are good, but if possible. Okay. Take care. Stay in touch. Let's get more people into the next Awesomeness community meeting. Stay safe. All the best. Loving
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Take care.